Hello everyone. I have with me today Aditi Bhatt, who has bagged an All India rank of 71 in CLAT 2025. Aditi, how are you?
I'm feeling exhilarated. I'm pretty happy.
Amazing. Tell us how was and what was your first reaction when you got to know the results and you got to know that perhaps you'll be joining one of the best law schools in the country.
It was first of all, the results were out around 11 or something. I slept early that day, and I got to know about it only at 7 in the morning, 6:37. And my parents woke me up and said, "You got a rank of 71." And I was, it felt surreal because it just felt surreal. I have the opportunity of joining NLS Bangalore now, and then I messaged Mudit sir, are you awake? Everyone was asleep, and I was here trying to just gather myself and just embracing the moment.
Right. Amazing. Interesting. Aditi, tell us about how your journey was, why you planned to do law, and when you actually decided to do law, how was your trajectory? How did it operate? How did it go? And how did you eventually come here?
So basically, I'm in fact, I'll become a first generation lawyer. My
Mhm.
parents are doctors. There's no relation to law in my family.
Mhm.
Um, so I had decided in 10th itself that law intrigued me very much and I wanted to pursue this. I started seriously preparing from 11th grade, actually after my boards. And then I chanced upon various coaching institutes and stuff, and I used to regularly give mocks, but my mocks trajectory was like, it was a roller coaster ride. And I joined different coaching centers, those local here at Mysore. They were, I would say, I didn't have many opportunities being in Mysore. It was not that open like cities like Delhi or Bangalore. So I then tried to go into online, didn't get that one-on-one attention, and since I was pretty much alone throughout my entirety of my prep, I felt a little bit of a void. But then I
Mhm.
joined Study Anchor. I chanced
Mhm.
upon a Kanobhaya video. I
Mhm.
was, and in fact, that video had only around 190 views, and
Mhm.
it happened to come in my feed. And I guess serendipity, and it was a great feeling. I watched that video, and then I enrolled myself in. Didn't know it would make such a difference. I got one-on-one mentorship finally. Being a totally online student, I did not feel separated from the rest of the Faridabad or Gurgaon kids. I was very much one of them, and in fact, even on Diwali, so was like joined through video call, and it was much of a community. I was part of a community. I felt
Mhm.
belonged. So that was
Mhm.
how enriching, and I loved my journey overall.
Right, right. Amazing. I think Aditi, you mentioned that your mock scores were a roller coaster ride, and having been in your position, I know that it is not only the scores which go on a roller coaster ride, but along with the scores, it is your emotions as well which go on a roller coaster ride. And being in that situation, how did you overcome that? And like, how did you ensure that the people around you, or in general the things around you, supported enough for you to be able to overcome those downfalls in your journey?
Also, as I had previously said, I was online. I was pretty much alone. I didn't have many people to talk about my scores with, and I felt I was the only one who had mock scores going from 90 to 60.
Mhm.
Like boom, 90 and then 60.
Uh-huh.
I felt alone, and there were a few people who told me that it is not normal, and I was scared to even plot my scores on a graph because my graph was, as I previously mentioned. So the only person who ended up telling me that mock scores, people say mock scores don't matter, but to take such a drastic decision not to even plot my scores or understand my scores or whatever was Mudit sir. He was like, and from that time onwards, he told me how exactly mock scores don't matter and how they're not a representative of who you are or how you are, because every mock inherently varies in difficulty level, and you
Mhm.
can't compare apples with oranges. You
Mhm.
write a mock, you get 90. You write another one, it probably is difficult. You can't score 90 in that as well.
Mhm.
So that is mocks.
Right, right, amazing. Aditi, now that you're already through, आपकी क्या क्या suggestions हैं, recommendations and क्या क्या tips हैं that other aspirants should follow जो prepare कर रहे हैं for CLAT and AIRIT?
So पहली बात तो ये है कि you have to have that good amount of consistency throughout your prep. Like मैं रोज न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ती थी. I used to, even if I was sick, I would be like, न्यूज़पेपर तो पढ़ना ही है. I have to focus on the newspaper. So you have to have that dedication, consistency. Number two is you have to have वो this mental aspect. You have to have faith, you have to, मतलब ups and downs तो होती रहती हैं, but like you have to not talk to your mentor. That's the third point. कि you need to have a person जिसके साथ you can like try to explain how you're feeling, and mental health and things like that. So number one, consistency. Number two, interest in what you're studying. And number three, mentor. And not only that, even a friend circle or something you could like relate with others with, कि okay, I'm not the only one जिसके scores गिर रहे हैं, I'm also um, everyone else is facing the same thing as I am. So you need to have that. You need to have people who can relate to you. And another thing, Kanavya's classes, GK classes, studying from all India rank to ALET is opportunity not everyone got, and I was lucky enough to get
Mhm.
that. So
Mhm.
he was also emphasizing a lot mental aspect पे, so things like that help a lot.
Right. Makes a lot of sense. राइट इंटरेस्टिंग अदिति एक काम करते हैं लेट अस गो सेक्शन बाय सेक्शन आप बताओ कि हर एक सेक्शन के लिए क्या कुछ स्पेसिफिक टिप्स हैं या आपने कैसे प्रिपेयर किया या चीजें विच एस्पिरेंट्स शुड कीप इन माइंड जब वो प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं फॉर देयर एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन
So पहली बात तो ये है कि आई वाज डेफिनेटली नॉट अ रीडर, एंड व्हेन आई लुक्ड एट द CLAT 23 paper for the first time, I was like, oh, reading. So um so basically I primarily built my reading from newspapers. So English I primarily covered newspaper, say vocab questions primarily from newspaper, and mocks as well. uh, Legal के लिए I was actually I was in a bit of a dilemma because people were giving hours and hours of classes for legal theory, but legal theory is not that relevant in CLAT to devote hours for. And then I went to Mudit sir. I was like, sir, I don't want to study legal theory for hours. Can I not? He's like, don't. So that was very reassuring. So you actually build your understanding and your base through mocks anyway, legal ke liye. But for current legal knowledge, I used to watch live law ke videos on YouTube. And theory to thodi what I've done enough to know a few questions that came in today this year's paper, which was had a few theory based questions. Then the next is GK, which is a problem for quite a few, including me. So first, I used to make no, I used to watch YouTube videos, Drishti ke videos, yeah, some coaching centers ke videos. Uske baad I tried to see compendiums, but then I felt I was being forced to read things which I didn't want to read. If I followed someone's schedule, and then I chanced upon Kanavya's demo video on. There was a demo session, so I joined. I was like, okay, this is how you should actually make notes, and I start making notes, and I love making notes. And newspapers say pick topics and make notes on them, research from various websites and stuff. So that is what I did for GK. And then for QT, I used to um, do QT regularly because QT is very important. I would do a particular topic. I would watch a lecture or something on that topic, and then solve questions and then do DIs. So I used to give an hour every day for QT. And Web sir also helped a lot. Then came then what's our next one? Logical.
लॉजिकल
So
यस
basically, logical के लिए I used to read these GMAT वाले books. So for logical, the legal वाला principle doesn't work. You have to learn theory for logical. So I would sit and learn logical theory. Logical sprint classes also were helpful. I learned them from GMAT books like ZTC Prep and Willis, and that helped me build my principles. And after all, I figured out stuff from mocks as well. So that is primarily all the sections.
ऑलराइट आई थिंक दैट मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ सेंस यार अदिति अपार्ट फ्रॉम चलो रिसोर्सेज वगैरह तो हो गया बट आई फील वन ऑफ द मेजर थिंग्स व्हेन इट कम्स टू प्रिपरेशन इज मॉक्स और उसका एनालिसिस फॉर एग्जांपल फॉर मी इट प्लेड एन एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट रोल स्टार्टिंग में तो क्या होता था कि आई डेंट एक्चुअली नो कि मॉक का एनालिसिस वगैरह कैसे करना है हाउएवर व्हेन आई केम टू द स्टडी एंकर आई मेट मुदित सर उसके बाद जब मैं अपना मॉक देता था उसके बाद आई यूज्ड टू सिट विद सर हैव अ वन टू वन कॉन्वर्सेशन कि ये सेक्शन पहले अटेम्प्ट करना चाहिए था ये वाला पैसेज स्किप करना चाहिए था एंड इट यूज टू एक्लेमेटाइज मी इट यूज टू गिव मी एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि आगे वाले मॉक्स में कैसे ऑपरेट करना है सो दैट वाज लाइक माय शेयर ऑफ द स्टोरी आप बताओ हाउ डिड यू गो अबाउट मॉक्स व्हाट वाज द फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ मॉक्स आप एनालाइज कैसे करते थे एंड डू यू थिंक दैट इट इज हेल्पफुल एंड इफ यस दूसरे लोगों को कैसे प्रोसीड करना चाहिए इसके रिगार्डिंग
So basically, I have given a lot of mocks throughout my preparation, around more than 150, and I loved giving them. So, but I would make sure I analyze them pretty decently, and by analysis, question-wise analysis, and all of that. Not only that, where I could have spent more time or less time, and how my mindset was in the mock. Initially, a lot of theory would get covered as well. So. Like how you were talking about how you would discuss mocks with Mudasar. In fact, that 1 3 hour class of yours on mock analysis, uh, that actually provided great insights as well. And mocks are not only about how much you know; it's about how you apply your knowledge as well. And that you all helped me a lot in that aspect. And even with respect to theories, I could ask any of you about a question I didn't understand or things like that. So
Right. Aditi, now that you're done with your entire CLAT A-Lit preparation journey, A-Lit का result अभी बाकी है, so fingers crossed. And as you mentioned, आपने बहुत सारे mocks दिए, so eventually all your hard work has paid off. But now that it is time to decide your college, so like obviously we'll sit with you. We are also planning to shoot up a video over YouTube जिसमें हम we'll have people from different colleges, NLS, NALSA, NLU Delhi, NUJS, and then we can decide and we can suggest which college is actually meant for you or which college you should essentially opt for. But keeping all of that aside, what is your gut feeling? What is your intuitive inclination to join a law college? Do you have a dream law school kind of a thing in your mind?
So initially it was very much NLS. Later on,
Mhm.
I wanted a little bit of NLU Delhi as well. I was into the whole NLU Delhi thing, and but then I thought of proximity. Because I didn't think till now कि oh I can get homesick also. So I'll probably be going to NLS Bangalore, even if I do clear ALET, which
All right.
I
I think proximity makes a lot of sense. Being having lived in Delhi and having my college in Delhi, I think you have the option to anytime go back. How far is NLS Bangalore from your place?
since it's towards the Mysore side, it's around 2 hours. So
Okay, okay.
can drive over the
Interesting.
weekend. And
Right, right. Interesting. I hope that eventually, whichever college you end up joining, you have a fun time there, and I hope you have a really good college life. Thank you so much for being with us today, and all the best
thank
for your future.
thank you so much.